Hi everyone, I'm Afreen, your Mediverse educator for oral surgery. I will be guiding you through important oral surgery topics, and today we are starting a PYQ series where we will discuss frequently asked questions and their ideal answers, which you all can write in exams. Okay, let's start. So these are the long answers and the short answers, which are very important for the prof exam. First is discuss the management of medically compromised patients undergoing oral surgery. Explain pre-operative, intraoperative, and post-operative considerations. It is of 10 marks. Now, how can you write the answer in the exam? Basically, the professional examination answer should not only show what you know, but also how well you can present your knowledge. पेपर पे जो जैसी प्रेजेंटेशन आप लोग करोगे उस पे बेस्ड है कि मार्क्स आपको कितने मिलेंगे. सो प्रेजेंटेशन एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप होता है इसमें. ओके, तो हम देखते हैं इसका आंसर हम कैसे लिखेंगे. Medically compromised patient is one who has a systemic disease, disorder, or condition that alters the normal response to surgical stress or increases the risk of surgery and requires special consideration. तो मेडिकली कॉम्प्रोमाइज पेशेंट्स वो होते हैं जिसमें कोई सिस्टमिक डिजीज हो या कोई ऐसी कंडीशन हो जो एक नॉर्मल कंडीशन को ऑल्टर करे, एक डिफरेंट कंडीशन बने नॉर्मल से. वो किसी सर्जिकल स्ट्रेस भी हो सकता है जो हमारा प्री ऑपरेटिव में आएगा, या इंक्रीज जो सर्जरी को इंक्रीज कर सकता है, कोई रिस्क को स्ट्रेस है जिसकी वजह से सर्जरी में हमें प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. तो अब हम इसका मैनेजमेंट कैसे करेंगे. बिल्कुल आपको जैसे इस पे लिखा है दीज आर द परफेक्ट नोट्स, आपको ऐसे ही एग्जाम में लिखना है. यू विल गेन अ गुड मार्क. सो दिस इज अ प्री ऑपरेटिव कंसिडरेशन, दिस इज इंट्रा ऑपरेटिव एंड दिस इज पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव ट्रीटमेंट. ओके, फर्स्ट प्री ऑपरेटिव, इसमें पहले मेडिकल हिस्ट्री हमें प्रॉपरली लेनी है पेशेंट की. उसकी केस हिस्ट्री लेनी है, उसका प्रेजेंट डिजीज क्या है वो देखना है, पास हिस्ट्री, उसकी कोई ड्रग हिस्ट्री है वो देखनी है, किसी चीज से एलर्जी है उसे वो नोट डाउन करना है, हैबिट है कोई स्मोकिंग और एनीथिंग एल्स दैट शुड बी स्टॉप्ड बिफोर सर्जरी, or any family history that should also be noted down. Then the physical examination. In physical examination, the vital signs are checked. The general and systemic examination are very important. All vital signs should be monitored. इसमें आता है respiratory and BP should be measured. Temperature हमें देखना होता है, pulse rate हमें देखनी होती है, respiratory rate देखनी होती है. Then after that, investigation. As indicated, CBC, RBS, ECG, BP, prothrombin type, time. तो ये सब हमें देखने होता है. The renal and liver function test all should be investigated. Then the consultation with physician. हमें उसके physician से consult करना होता है before the surgery. If he or she is taking any medicine, ना उस मेडिसिन को स्टॉप करने के लिए हमें उसके फिजिशियन से कंसल्ट करना ज़रूरी होता है. ओके, देन इज द रिस्क असेसमेंट. इसमें ए ऐसे ग्रेडिंग की जाती है, दैट इज हम ग्रेडिंग करते हैं. ग्रेड 1 2 3 4 5 6 होता है अकॉर्डिंगली कि पेशेंट का कंडीशन कैसा है. ग्रेड ए जैसे कि नॉर्मल हेल्दी पेशेंट होता है. देन ग्रेड 2 इज द पेशेंट विद माइल्ड सिस्टमिक डिजीजेस. फर्दर देन ग्रेड 3 इज पेशेंट विद सीवियर सिस्टमिक डिजीजेस. ओके, देन इज द ट्रीटमेंट प्लानिंग. अब हम प्लान कैसे करेंगे. इलेक्टिव सर्जरी ओनली व्हेन कंडीशन इज ऑप्टिमाइज, कंसिडर मॉडिफिकेशन और पोस्टपोनमेंट इफ रिक्वायर्ड. अगर उसकी कंडीशन सही नहीं है देन वी हैव टू पोस्टपोन द सर्जरी. We are not, there's no need to do the surgery at that time which we have given the patient. It's not necessary. अगर उसकी condition वैसी नहीं है, we should not perform the surgery. Then after that there is patient preparation. Explain procedure, obtain informed consent, reduce anxiety, pre-medication if needed. हमें उसको कुछ एंजाइटिक्स देना है जिसकी वजह से उसकी एंजाइटी जो है about this surgery, that should be reduced. Then the fasting, 6 hours for solids and 2 hours for clear fluids, except emergency. Okay. Then comes to the intraoperative consideration. It includes schedule. Schedule हमें एक ऐसा रखना है. It should be short. The short appointments it should be, and the appointment should be in morning. Then second is the stress reduction, pleasant atmosphere, good communication, minimal waiting. Then monitoring, that is again we should monitor BP, pulse continuously. Okay. Then anesthesia. Prefer LA with or without vasoconstrictors. Use minimum effective dose. Avoid epinephrine in uncontrolled hypertension patient, arrhythmias और hyperthyroidism. तो हमें यहाँ पे epinephrine को avoid करना होता है जिनमें uncontrolled disease हो. जिनमें controlled हो, in that we can give, but uncontrolled वालों में हमें नहीं देना होता है. Okay, then is the drug selection. Avoid drugs that may interact with patient's medication or disease condition. Example, NSAID in renal disease, it will affect, so we have to stop the drug. लेकिन हमें पहले उसके physician से consult करना होता है. Then the surgical technique. Atraumatic, efficient, minimal tissue damage and blood loss, it should be minimum. Then fluids, maintain hydration, IV fluids if needed. Then the emergency have emergency drugs, oxygen होना चाहिए, suction होना चाहिए, BP मेजर करने का apparatus होना चाहिए. Then post operative consideration, recovery. First is recovery. Observe करना है हमें patient को till वो stable हो जाए completely and fully conscious हो जाए. Instructions, we have to give instructions. The post operative instructions are giving to patient कि उसको क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. Verbal and written post operative instructions we have to write also, and verbally भी हमें उसको बोलना है. Medications. Prescribe appropriate analgesics, antibiotics, and other drugs, considering systemic condition and drug interactions. We have to prescribe the medication, proper medications which is needed after the surgery. Then the pain control. Prefer paracetamol. Avoid NSAIDs in renal disease, bleeding tendency, uncontrolled hypertension. In cases में हमें NSAIDs को avoid करना चाहिए. Then the follow-up is very important. We have to tell patient कि आपको इतने दिन बाद आना है, इतने हफ्ते बाद आपको आना है. Recall after 24 to 48 hours or as required. Then complication monitoring. Watch for bleeding, infection, delayed healing, medical complications. Then the communication. Inform physician about treatment and any post operative complication. हमें अगर इसमें कोई complication भी आता है, we have to inform the patient. हो सकता है उसे कोई complication आए and वो panic कर जाए, so हमें उसको पहले ही उस बारे में inform कर देना चाहिए. Then the goal to provide safe, effective, and comfortable dental care with minimum risk and medical complication. Then next, after writing this as preoperative, intraoperative, and postoperative, we have to write the examples of medically compromised patients like CVS disorders, okay, cardiovascular disorder, respiratory, diabetes mellitus, bleeding disorder, renal disorder, hepatic disorders, endocrine, immunocompromised patient, pregnant patients, okay, pediatric patients, या geriatric patients. एंड डायग्राम्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये जो होता है ये एग्जामिनर को ज्यादा मार्क्स देने पे मजबूर ही करता है. सो डायग्राम्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू हैव टू ड्रॉ द डायग्राम्स इन एवरी क्वेश्चन. देन आफ्टर दिस here is the risk assessment. This is the ASA classification जो मैंने ऊपर बताया था. किसमें बताया था मैंने ASA classification? Here risk assessment preoperative consideration में. So ये आती है grading. देखो, grade A is normal healthy patient, then grade 2 is patient with mild systemic disease, then grade 3 is patient with severe systemic disease that limits activity but is not incapacitating. Then after that, fourth grade is a patient with severe systemic disease that is a constant threat to life. Grade 5 is moribund patient not expected to survive 24 hours with or without operation, जो survive ही नहीं कर पाएगा. Then the last grade 6 is a declared brain dead patient. These are fully dead. Okay. Then these are the emergency drugs and uses. Drugs and their uses: epinephrine. The ratio of epinephrine should be 1:1000. And its uses for anaphylaxis, severe asthma, atropine, severe bradycardia, nitroglycerin, एंजाइना पेक्टोरिस पेशेंट्स में हम इसको यूज करते हैं. सो दीज आर द ड्रग्स जो एक इमरजेंसी ड्रग्स होते हैं जो हमें वहां रखनी है ड्यूरिंग सर्जरी कि अगर कोई कंडीशन अकर हो गई तो हम ये यूज कर सके. देन इज द सैल्ब्यूटामॉल. दिस इज अ ब्रोंकोस्पाज्म एंड हाइड्रोकॉर्टिसोन, एड्रेनल क्राइसिस एलर्जी, डायazepam, एंजाइटी, सिजर्स, डेक्सट्रोस 25%, हाइपोग्लाइसेमिक पेशेंट्स में यूज किया जाता है. This is the surgical stress response. Surgical stress, the flow charts are very important. It also helps us to gain the extra marks. This is a surgical injury, increases sympathetic activity and hormonal response. Then is increased catecholamine, it increases cortisol, it increases glucagon, then increases ADH. Then after that जो catecholamines होता है जब वो increase हो जाता है तो वो increase करता है हमारा BPP. Okay, then BP increase हो गया तो vasoconstriction हो जाती है. Then after that जब cortisol increase हो गया तो protein catabolism increase करता है blood glucose. Then glucagon increase, blood glucose lipolysis occurs. Then ADH जब इंक्रीज होता है तो वाटर रिटेंशन हो जाती है तो यूरिन का आउटपुट डिक्रीज हो जाएगा जब वाटर रिटेन करेगा. Exaggerated response in medically compromised patients may lead to complication. Key point: know the disease, know the drug, know the patient. Treat the patient, not the disease. Okay. So the next question is: explain the dental management of patients with systemic diseases and necessary precautions to be taken during oral surgery procedure. This is the second question. So how we will write it? A patient with systemic disease requires special consideration in dental management. The aim is to provide safe, effective, and comfortable dental care without precipitating any medical complication. Okay. Now how we will write it? Dental management of patients with systemic diseases. एक डेंटल मैनेजमेंट हम कैसे करेंगे जिस पेशेंट को कुछ सिस्टमिक डिजीज होगी. We have to write, like we can make this table in exam also, or we can simply write these points, the 8 points. Then after that we have to write the precautions during surgical procedure. This way we can write the point A, B, also the preoperative, then the intraoperative, then the postoperative. So first we will discuss the dental management of patient with systemic diseases. First disease is cardiovascular disease, the most common. The dental management, how we can manage it: schedule short morning appointment. These are the best. Morning appointments are best. Reduce anxiety and stress, use vasoconstrictor with precautions, avoid epinephrine in uncontrolled hypertension patients, then antibiotics prophylaxis in indicated conditions. Okay. Then points to remember: monitor BP and pulse, do not ignore chest pain or dyspnea, keep GTN sorbitrate available. Okay. It's glyceryl trinitrate. Glycerin, not glycerin, is glutaraldehyde trinitrate. Okay. In case of angina, stop, keep GTN sorbitol or sorbitol available. In case of angina, stop procedure, give GTN, reassure, and then refer. Then the next systemic diseases, respiratory diseases. We have to manage in well ventilated room, short appointments, inhaler to be used before appointment if the asthmatic patient is there. Avoid sedatives and respiratory depressant. Then asthma, points to remember: asthma, avoid triggers, have bronchodilator ready. COPD patient, give oxygen if needed. Then the third is diabetes mellitus, morning appointment, after meal, check blood sugar if possible, stress reduction, avoid surgery, avoid sugary medicines, prophylactic antibiotics in uncontrolled cases. Hypoglycemia, sweating, tremor के cases में, hunger, give sugar or glucose. Hyperglycemia, delayed healing, infection, bleeding disorders, or hemophilia. It can be hemophilia A, B, C. So we have a morning appointment, after meal, check blood sugar if possible, stress reduction, avoid sugary medicines, prophylactic lactic antibiotics in uncontrolled cases. Then the points we have to remember: hypoglycemia, sweating, tremor, then hunger, give sugar or glucose, hyperglycemia, delayed healing, or infection. Okay, then okay, this was wrong. Use a traumatic technique, sutures, gelatin sponge, oxidized cellulose. Okay, we have to use mouthwashes. Renal diseases, the dental management is short appointments, avoid nephrotoxic drugs, adjust drug dose, example antibiotics, analgesics. Dialysis patient, if the patient is on dialysis, then treatment after dialysis is required. Urea, bleeding tendency, anemia, common infection. Then the next systemic disease is hepatic disease. Avoid drugs metabolized by liver. Reduced dose of analgesics, vitamin K if needed. Then the points we have to remember is bleeding tendency, check clotting time, avoid alcohol. Then after that, okay, after that, here is the hepatic diseases. Avoid drugs metabolized by liver, reduce dose of analgesics, vitamin K if needed. Bleeding tendency, check clotting time, avoid alcohol. Endocrine disorders that can be thyroid or adrenal disorder. Continue regular medication, stress reduction, corticosteroid coverage and adrenal insufficiency. Hypothyroid delayed healing होगी and adrenal insufficiency होगी तो give steroid cover in major surgery. Immunocompromised patients maintain strict asepsis condition. Prophylactic antibiotics if needed. Avoid live vaccines. Poor healing होती है, high risk of infection होता है immunocompromised patients में. Then this is a general precaution. Take detailed medical history, consult physician when necessary, explain procedure and obtain information consent. Appointments and stress-free environment should be required. Pre-medicate if required. Use minimal effective dose of drugs. Aid traumatic surgery, surgical treatment. Post-operative instruction and follow-up is necessary. Stress response, dental anxiety or pain. It will increase catecholamines. That will increase the HR or BP. Vasoconstriction occurs, may precipitate medical complication. So this was the dental management of patients with systemic diseases. Now the second is precaution during oral surgical procedure. So this is the format you can write an exam. You will gain a good mark. Then here is the preoperative precautions we take. Obtain detailed medical and drug history, consult physician and take medical opinion. Assess the severity and control of disease. Investigations if required. Pre-medication is given. Advise patient to continue regular medications. Then fasting state not required for local anesthesia. Inform about post-operative instructions. I have discussed in question 1. That's all. And then the second is intraoperative precautions. Use effective LA with or without vasoconstrictors. Then second is aspirate before injection. Use minimal stress, gentle handling, reassurance, monitor vital signs. In high-risk patients, maintain profound hemostasis. Use short, simple, and atraumatic procedure. Avoid prolonged surgery in medically compromised patients. Have emergency drugs and equipment ready. Then the third is post-operative precautions. Give written and verbal instructions. Give written and verbal instructions. Prescribe drugs considering systemic condition. Example, avoid NSAID. I have also discussed in first question. This is the same. Adequate analgesic, soft diet, rest, hydration, follow up after 24 to 48 hours. Watch for any sign of complication that can be bleeding, infection. If it is there, then you have to reach the doctor. Then you have to write like this table. You have to draw this table and like drugs, the drugs to be used with caution or avoided. Avoid in NSAIDs that we have discussed. We have to avoid in renal failure, patients, bleeding disorder or peptic ulcer patient. Aspirin, bleeding disorders, children, raised disease syndrome. Epinephrine is avoided in uncontrolled hypertensive patient, IHT or thyrotoxicosis patient. Sedatives are avoided like diazepam, severe respiratory diseases or liver diseases. Tetracycline is avoided in children and pregnant women. Liver diseases, codeine. It is avoided in respiratory depression, hepatic dysfunction. Then the common emergencies and management. Emergencies can be syncope, angina pectoris, bronchospasm, hypoglycemia, hypertensive crisis, or excessive bleeding. In syncope, place in supine position. We have to place the patient first in supine. जब पेशेंट डेंटल चेयर पे है तो हमें डेंटल चेयर को स्पाइन पोजीशन पे पहले रखना है. उसके क्लोथ्स को कॉलर अगर टाइट है उसको लूज करना है. उसके लेग्स को एलिवेट करना है. The Trendelenburg position is that called. We have to maintain that position. Give amyl nitrate. Okay, smelling salts. Then अगर angina pectoris condition है, stop procedure. Procedure को पहले stop करना है. Sit up patient. Patient को खड़ा रखना है. Give GTN 0.5 mg. Sublingually हमें ये देना है. GTN is very important. ऑक्सीजन हमें अगर अवेलेबल है तो हमें ऑक्सीजन देना है और उस पेशेंट को रेफर करना है टू हॉस्पिटल. Then bronchospasm. अगर asthma patient है, then sit patient upright, give bronchodilators like salbutamol. Oxygen is given. If severe, then we have to refer that patient. In hypoglycemic condition, if the emergency occurs, then give oral glucose or sugar. If unconscious, if the patient is completely unconscious, then IV is given, the dextrose, 25%. Okay. Emergency condition is hypertensive crisis. Stop procedure, give rest, oral antihypertensives are given, and we have to refer if severe. Then excessive bleeding. अगर excessive bleeding हो रही है तो local pressure देना है, hemostatic agents देना है, sutures करना है. Okay, it's not necessary. Okay, then the drugs I have discussed it. Then the factors affecting dental treatment outcome. Outcome क्या होता है dental treatment का? Systemic diseases and severity, systemic disease severity and control. Operator skill and judgment, compliance and cooperation, oral hygiene status, Then the drug interaction and allergy, type and duration of procedure, stress and anxiety of patient. These are the factors which affect dental treatment outcomes. Key point: treat the patient, not the disease. Good communication, proper planning, and precautions ensure safe and successful dental care. Okay, this is the second one, and then the third question of 10 mark. Discuss the oral surgical considerations in diabetic and cardiac patients. Okay, mention possible complications and their prevention. How we will write it? First is the introduction. The incidence of diabetic mellitus and cardiovascular diseases is increasing. These patients require special care during oral surgical procedures. Aim. What is the aim of this? To prevent complication by proper assessment, modification, and management. So these are the keywords: medical history, drug modification, stress reduction, asepsis, and emergency preparation. First is the diabetic patient. Oral, if the oral surgical consideration, what we will write? The same: preoperative, intraoperative, and the postoperative. In preoperative, take detailed medical history, type of diabetes mellitus, duration control drugs like insulin, OHA, check blood glucose level in fasting state also and in random or in non-fasting state. Surgery preferably in morning after breakfast and after usual dose of insulin or OH is given. Avoid long fasting, risk of hypoglycemia. Assess degree of control, good or poor. Postpone elective surgery in uncontrolled diabetes mellitus patients. Then the intraoperative use short, simple, and atraumatic procedure. Maintain strict asepsis. Use LA with vasoconstrictor. Avoid stress and anxiety. Continuously observe the patient for signs of hypoglycemia. Then the third is postoperative. In postoperative condition, ensure adequate analgesia. Prescribe antibiotics if indicated. Advise patient to take normal diet and drinks. Continue regular anti-diabetic medication. Observe for delayed wound healing and infection. Then after that, the cardiac patient. This was the diabetic patient, and now the cardiac patient. What we will do? Oral surgical consideration. First, I will discuss this. The oral surgical considerations of diabetic and cardiac. I have discussed the diabetic. Now I will discuss the cardiac patient. The same. We have to write the preoperative, intraoperative, and the postoperative. In preoperative, take detailed medical history: hypertension, ischemia, heart disease, ischemic heart disease, angina, MI, heart failure, arrhythmia, valvular heart disease, or the pacemaker patients. Time of MI. इलेक्टिव सर्जरी शुड बी पोस्टपोन फॉर एटलीस्ट 6 मंथ. अगर कोई एमआई का पेशेंट है तो हमें 6 महीने के बाद उसकी सर्जरी जब उसको अटैक आया है आफ्टर 6 मंथ हमें उसकी सर्जरी परफॉर्म करनी है. उससे पहले हम ही कर सकते और वी हैव टू कंसिडर अ फिजिशियन इन इट. चेक ब्लड प्रेशर, ब्लड पल्स, जनरल कंडीशंस. Continue regular cardiac medications like beta blockers, nitrates, diuretics. Consult physician or cardiologist. Antibiotic prophylaxis is done if patient with prosthetic valves, previous infective endocarditis, certain congenital heart disease. We have to all know about this and mention in our case history. Then the intraoperative, you provide stress-free and calm environment. This is very important for the patient. If the patient is calm, the surgery will be better. Use short morning appointments. Use local anesthetic with vasoconstrictors like lignocaine with adrenaline. 1:80,000 ratio में ये लेता है या 1:1 lakh ratio. Limit dose. Maximum adrenaline का जो dose होता है that will be 0.04 mg. Okay. Aspirate before injection to avoid intravascular injection. Avoid sudden changes in posture. Monitor करना है उसकी BP pulse, patient's response throughout the procedure. Then the post-operative provide adequate pain relief like NSAIDs in patients on anticoagulants. Avoid drugs that interact with cardiac pain medication. Advise rest and observe patient for chest pain, breathlessness, giddiness. Recall for follow-up. Then the next is the possible complications of diabetes mellitus patient and the cardiac patients. So now first we will discuss the diabetes mellitus patient, the possible complication. That can be hypoglycemia, most common and dangerous complication. Sweating, tremors, hunger can occur, confusion, fainting, unconsciousness. Then the second is infection, is the second most common complication. It can be due to impaired host defense. Delayed wound healing can occur due to microangiopathy. Diabetic ketoacidosis is commonly occur in severely uncontrolled cases. Then the precautions, what precautions we can take? Good metabolic control, morning appointment, avoid long fasting, short duration, minimal stress, asepsis and prophylactic antibiotics when required. Patient education should be required and regular follow-up. Be prepared for managing emergency. We have to be prepared. The all drugs that is needed in emergency that should be present here. Then the management of hypoglycemia in emergency condition. Mild cases may conscious agar hai, then give oral glucose like sugar, glucose solutions or fruit juices. If severe condition, if he is unconscious, then IV dextrose is given 25%, 50 ml slow IV or glucagon 1 mg. Okay. Then for cardiac patient, the possible complication is angina pectoris due to stress, pain, epinephrine, and myocardial infarction due to excessive stress, epinephrine, and hypertension. Then third is hypertensive crisis. Fourth is arrhythmia due to anxiety, epinephrine, hypoxia. Fifth is cardiac failure in severe diseases. Now the precaution is good control of systemic conditions, stress reduction protocol, minimum use of vasoconstrictor, short and simple surgical procedures. Monitoring of vitals, emergency drugs, and equipment should be ready. How can we manage angina in emergency? We have to stop the procedure. We have to stop the surgery. Sublingually, we have to give nitroglycerin 0.3 to 0.6 mg. Give oxygen. Aspirin is given 300 mg. That is should be given orally so that he can chew. If no relief, refer the patient to hospital. Comparison at a glance. This is the comparison between diabetic patient and the cardiac patient. Main risk hypoglycemia और cardiac patient में angina और MI. Then healing. डायबिटिक पेशेंट में डिलेड होती है और कार्डिक पेशेंट में जनरली नॉर्मल होती है. इन्फेक्शन जो होता है डायबिटिक पेशेंट में हाई रिस्क पे होता है और कार्डिक पेशेंट में मॉडरेट रिस्क पे होता है. देन ड्रग कंसर्न. In diabetic patient, it is insulin or OHA is given, and in cardiac patient, anticoagulants, beta blockers, nitrates are given. Emergency में हमें diabetic patient में glucose administration करना होता है और cardiac patient में nitroglycerin is the best, or we can give oxygen if available. Then remember, a well-planned and stress-free dental treatment with proper medical management ensures safe and successful outcome. So these are the long questions, the 3 long and the very important questions of oral surgery, which we have covered. Now there are some small 5-mark questions. तो इसका भी हम देखेंगे how we will write it. Okay. So the fourth question is explain the management of a diabetic patient undergoing tooth extraction. How we will write it? The aim is to maintain metabolic control, prevent acute complication, and ensure uneventful healing. Here is also the preoperative assessment. Take a detailed history, type and duration of diabetes, drug, insulin therapy, blood glucose control, any complication. Okay. History of hypoglycemia is taken. Inquire about concurrent illness and drugs. Check random fasting or blood glucose level. Randomly हम check करेंगे यानी कि non fasting level पे भी और fasting level पे भी. If greater than 200 mg per dl, refer elective extraction and refer to physician. Okay. Ideal control fasting 8130 mg per dl होता है. Or PP is less than 180 mg per dl. HbA1c should be less than 7%. Appointment preferably in the morning हमें रखना होता है 8 से 10 am. Explain करना होता है procedure gain cooperation and reduce anxiety. Advise patient not to omit meals or drugs. Okay, this is the classification of diabetes. Insulin dependent होता है type 1, type 2 is insulin non-insulin dependent, and the third is gestational diabetes. Okay, then second is preoperative. Here the patient on insulin. If the patient is on insulin, then usual dose of insulin should be continued. जो उसका usual dose है उसको हमें continue करना चाहिए. Patient should take normal diet on the previous night and on the day of surgery. उस वो जो normal diet लेता है, he or she has to take that diet on the morning of surgery. We have to do this. And then if procedure in morning, patient to take usual morning dose of intermediate or long acting insulin and eat light breakfast. If procedure is at afternoon, then patient may take light breakfast and half the usual morning dose of insulin. The half, this is important, half the usual morning dose of insulin, यानी उसका half लेना है अगर afternoon में. Patient on oral hypoglycemic agent, continue usual dose, take drug after meal as usual. Then the assess blood glucose. This is important chart you can make an exam and gain the marks. Then the C point is patient on combination like insulin पे भी है और OHA पे भी है. Then इसमें हम okay, इसमें क्या हम करते हैं, पेशेंट अगर कॉम्बिनेशन में है तो मैनेज एज अबो अकॉर्डिंग टू इंसुलिन रेजिमेन एंड गिव OHA आफ्टर मील. हम मील के बाद उसको OHA देना है. Then the third one is intra operative management. Okay, use LA lignocaine in usual dose. Monitor the patient for signs of hypoglycemia. Extraction should be as traumatic as possible. Extraction should be as atraumatic. It's not traumatic, it's atraumatic as possible. Okay, achieve good hemostasis. Sutures may be placed. Duration of surgery should be short. Now, the management of hypoglycemia, if occurs, stop the procedure. Give 15 to 20 gram of glucose orally. 1 to 2 tablets are given, or 1 cup sweet drink, or 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar in water is given. If the patient is unconscious, so we have to give 25 ml of 25% dextrose. IV slowly. Once recovered, give carbohydrate snack and postpone the procedure. Then fourth is post-operative management. Advise patient to take soft, lukewarm diet and resume usual diet and drugs. Analgesic of choice like paracetamol is given, that is the safest drug. Then antibiotics only if needed, like in case of infection or poor healing. Maintain good hygiene, good oral hygiene. Warm saline mouth rinses are done. Review after 24 to 48 hours. This is a beautiful diagram you can make of insulin. This is showing the mechanism of action of insulin. Or you can make this table. The signs of hypoglycemia: sweating, palpitation, tremors, hunger, एंजाइटी, वीकनेस, ड्रॉजीनेस, कंफ्यूजन, कन्वर्जन. तो हमें पहले ही पता चलेगा अगर स्वेटिंग हो रही है, उसको एंजाइटी हो रही है, देन दीज आर द साइंस व्हिच वी कैन डिटेक्ट द hypoglycemic patient. This is the mechanism of insulin. This is the insulin. These are the receptors. It will bind to the receptor. Then the glucose will come. GLUT4 से bind हो जाता है सेल के अंदर. Then glucose uptake and use हो जाता है. Then blood glucose level decrease हो जाता है. Okay. So these are the drugs to be used with caution. Corticosteroids increases blood glucose. Thiazide diuretics. This also increases the blood glucose level. Sympathomimetic drugs in high dosage also increases the blood glucose level. Niacin in high doses also increases. These may interfere with glycemic control. Key point from Katie Tripathi. The success of dental treatment in diabetics depends not only on the procedure itself, but on the medical control and prevention of complication. So now the fifth question. Discuss the dental management of a hypertensive patient. This is also the same format you have to write. The aim is to provide safe dental care by preventing excessive rise in BP and complication. Introduction. Hypertension. Persistent elevation of arterial blood pressure common in dental practice. Dental treatment may produce anxiety, pain, and stress, which increases the BP. The aim is to prevent excessive rise in BP and manage medical emergency. Second is the classification of it. It can be normal. Normal is 120 mm of Hg. So normal is 120 by 80. Then the pre-hypertension patient is having 120 to 139 mm of Hg systolic, and diastolic 80 to 89. Then mild, that is stage 1 hypertensive patient, that is having the systolic pressure as 140 to 159 and diastolic as 90 to 99. Then the stage 2 hypertension patient is having 160 to 179 and systolic pressure, and for diastolic it's 100 to 109. And the stage 3 is having more than 180 and there's more than 120. Then the third one is pre-operative management, a detailed medical history, duration, severity, drugs, complications. These are the pre-operative management. Measure BP at every appointment. If BP is less than 160 by 100 mm, then dental treatment can be carried out. लेकिन अगर 160 by 100 से ज़्यादा हुआ, then the elective treatment and we have to refer it to physician. Ensure the patient has taken his usual antihypertensive drugs. Appointments preferable in the morning. Reduce anxiety. Explain procedure easily. Short waiting and time and good communication. Then factors which causes risk in BP in dental office. First is anxiety, fear, pain, hypoxia, full stomach, certain drugs, discomfort, excessive local anesthetic dose, rush. Fourth is intraoperative management. Use stress reducing protocols. Like medications हमें उसको provide करने डायज़ेपाम हम provide करता है. Local LA में हमें vasoconstrictor use करना चाहिए LA के साथ, like lignocaine 2% with adrenaline 1 is to 80,000. Limit करना होता है dose of adrenaline to 0.04 mg or you can say 2 cartridges. Aspirate before injection. It is the rule कि हमें हमेशा aspirate करना होता है जब भी हम injection दे. If blood is coming, that will be a positive aspiration. If the blood is not coming, that will be a positive. If blood is coming, that is negative aspiration. You have to withdraw the needle. Okay. Then use minimal effective drugs and doses. Avoid NSAIDs. Ensure adequate oxygenation. Comfortable position, that is semi-supine position. Monitor the BP in long procedures. Frequent breaks in long procedures. Then the fifth one is post-operative management. Check BP before patient leaves. Advise patient to take a rest and continue regular drugs. Give post-operative instructions clearly to the patient. Analgesics of choice like paracetamol is the safest. Avoid NSAIDs. Review patient after 24 to 48 hours if needed. These are the common antihypertensive drugs you have to write. Diuretics, beta blocker, calcium channel ACE inhibitors, alpha blockers, then the central acting agents, vasodilators. These are some important hypertensive drugs. Then the hypertensive emergency in dental office. Severe headache, blurring of vision, giddiness, chest pain, shortness of breath, epistaxis, tinnitus. Management, stop the procedure, keep the patient in semi-supine position, reassure the patient, maintain airway and oxygen, check the BP of the patient. If BP, अगर BP patient का बहुत high है with symptoms, then we have to refer immediately the patient to the physician or nearest hospital. We have to stop the procedure at that time. If epistaxis, sit patient forward, pinch nose, apply cold pack, and we have to refer the patient to hospital. If chest pain or breathlessness, suspect MI, pulmonary edema, emergency referral. Okay, these are the do's and don'ts, which we can do and which we cannot do. What is do's? Take complete history, measure BP regularly, use stress reduction, use minimal LA with vasoconstrictor, morning appointment, short simple procedure, refer if BP high. And the don'ts, don't ignore high BP. Don't use excessive adrenaline, don't use NSAID, don't give long appointments to patient, don't over medicate, and don't overlook symptoms. This series I discussed, and this is the measurement of BP. The diagram you can make, this is the sphygmomanometer, the cuff, branchial artery, where we can measure BP. The procedure, patient seated at heart level. Place cuff 2 to 3 centimeter above cubital fossa. Inflate करना है 20 से 30 mm Hg above the disappearance of radial pulse. Deflate at 2 to 3 mm Hg per second. Note readings. Okay, sorry. So this is all. Now the sixth answer is write a short note on oral surgery in patients receiving anticoagulant therapy. This is also for 5-mark question. How you can write it? First of all, you will heading the oral surgery in patients receiving anticoagulant therapy. Then the aim is to prevent excessive bleeding during and after oral surgical procedure without increasing the risk of thromboembolism. Okay. Now the first is the intro. This is how you can write to gain the extra marks. First is introduction. Write the heading of introduction with different pen. Then write with blue pen the answer in it. Anticoagulants interfere with the coagulation system and increases the risk of bleeding. Dental surgeon should plan the treatment so that the patient is not exposed to excessive bleeding and his systemic condition is not endangered. Here you can write, you can make this table. First is classification, then drugs, then mechanism. First is heparin, जिसमें जो ड्रग होती है that can be unfractionated heparin, low molecular weight heparin, example enoxaparin. Then mechanism इसका क्या है? To activate antithrombin 3, जो कि inhibit करता है thrombin को and factor 10A को. Okay. Then the second is vitamin K antagonist, जिसमें warfarin आता है. Its spelling is wrong. जिसमें warfarin is important, ठीक है. Inhibits synthesis of vitamin K dependent factors like factor 2, factor 6, factor 7, factor 9, factor 10. Then the direct oral anticoagulants. In this, the mechanism is it directly inhibits thrombin or factor 10A. This is the direct oral anticoagulant. Then the third point is preoperative management. Take a detailed medical history indication for anticoagulant dose, duration, other drugs, bleeding episodes. Consult the physician, cardiologist, then determine the bleeding risk of the procedure, evaluate coagulation status. For warfarin, check INR, international normalized ratio. For heparin or low molecular weight heparin, check APTT or anti-10A level. For DOACs, no routine test, check renal function, do not stop or change anticoagulant therapy for minor oral surgical procedure if INR is within therapeutic range. It is a safe range for minor oral surgery, warfarin, heparin, low molecular weight heparin, or DOACs. These are the normal range. Then after that, Then the management during oral surgery, how we can manage. Use local hemostatic measures. A traumatic technique should be used. Minimal tissue injury. Use LA with vasoconstrictor. Perform surgery efficiently. Achieve primary closure of wounds if possible, like suturing is done. Apply local hemostatic agents. Then after that, local hemostatic agents are absorbable gelatin sponge, oxidized regenerated cellulose, collagen sponge, collagen plug, topical thrombin, fibrin sealants. These are all used. Then this is the diagram you can make in exam. The local measures to control bleeding. Extraction socket. This is the extraction socket. Okay. Now we have done a placement of hemostatic agent that can be gelatin form or gel form. And then after that, sutures are placed to achieve primary closure of the wound. This is the suturing technique. The suturing technique are many interruptive sutures भी लगा सकते हैं, figure of 8 suture भी लगा सकते हैं, periodontal pack लगा सकते हैं, compression with gauge for some time is given. We have to compress the socket ताकि वो खुला ना रहे. Okay, then the algorithm for patient on anticoagulant. Patient on anticoagulant requires oral surgery. Then assess medical history, drug dose, duration, indication, evaluate. Okay, assess medical history, drug dose, duration, indication. Then evaluate coagulation status. Is it a minor oral surgical procedure? Example, extraction, 2-3 teeth. If yes, then do not stop anticoagulant. Use local hemostatic measure and perform the procedure. But if it's not, then consult physician, cardiologist for modification or temporary discontinuation of the surgery is done. Then after that, the precaution usually considered minor, single or multiple complicated extractions up to 3 teeth, incision and drainage of abscess, periodontal surgery, biopsy, suturing, endodontic treatment, implant placement. These procedures are usually considered minor. After that, the post-operative management. In the post-operative management, the firm pressure with gauge for 30 to 45 minutes are required. Analgesics of choice, that is the paracetamol. Avoid aspirin and NSAIDs as they increases the bleeding risk. Advise soft diet to patient. Avoid hot food, drinks, spitting, rinsing, sucking through straw for 24 hours. These are the some instructions which we have to give the patient after the surgery. Review after 24 to 48 hours. The follow-up is necessary. If bleeding occurs, apply local pressure. Use hemostatic agents, sutures, or refer the patient. Then the drugs to avoid, aspirin, NSAIDs, other platelet inhibitors are avoided. Management of excessive bleeding is apply local pressure with gauge, use hemostatic agents, suture is done, suturing is done, antifibrinolytics are given, and if bleeding persists, refer to hospital. Then the sixth point is special consideration for patients on warfarin with INR less than 3.5 or requiring major surgery. We have to consult the physician for dosage adjustment. And then for the patient on low molecular weight warfarin, do not stop for minor procedure. For major surgery, stop as per drug half-life and renal function. Then the bridging therapy, heparin, only for high thromboembolic risk patient under physician supervision. Good communication between dentist and physician is essential. Okay, then the seventh question. Okay, we have done with this. Now the seventh question is discuss the management of patients with bleeding disorder in oral surgery. This can also be a 5-mark question. How you can write it? First, the same definition. Bleeding disorder is a group of condition in which there is a defect in hemostasis leading to prolonged bleeding. यानी कि bleeding नहीं रुक रही है. इसकी classification क्या है? Primary hemostatic defects, secondary hemostatic defects. Primary hemostatic defects या तो platelet disorders हम बोल सकते हैं. Example इसमें ये सब आता है. Thrombocytopenia आ सकता है. Thromboasthenia आ सकता है. Bernard-Solier syndrome आ सकता है. This is very important syndrome. सेकेंडरी हीमोस्टैटिक डिफेक्ट्स होता है जो ये वाला सिंड्रोम है एज इट इज क्वेश्चन भी आ जाता है कभी कभी. Then the secondary hemostatic defects, clotting factor deficiencies, okay, hemophilia A, B, von Willebrand disease, vitamin K deficiency, okay. Then the general principles of management, thorough medical and dental history. General medical and dental history, identify the type and severity of bleeding disorder. फिजिशियन से कंसल्ट करना होता है, कुछ बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स होता है, प्लान करना होता है ट्रीटमेंट ताकि हम प्रिवेंट कर सके, कंट्रोल मॉनिटर कर सके ब्लीडिंग को. लोकल हीमोस्टैटिक प्रेशर को यूज करना होता है अलॉन्ग विद रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी व्हेन रिक्वायर्ड. एट्रोमैटिक सर्जिकल टेक्निक इज यूज्ड. पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव फॉलो अप एंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस. अगर आप लोग ऐसे ही लिखोगे विद हेडिंग, द मार्क्स विल बी सो गुड. सो नेक्स्ट इज द प्री ऑपरेटिव मैनेजमेंट. ओके, the detailed history and examination, investigation, consultation with hematologist, then patient education and motivation, schedule treatment early in the day and week. Okay, then intraoperative management, use, okay, wait. Then after preoperative management, there is intraoperative management. Use LA with vasoconstrictor. Atraumatic surgical technique, minimize the tissue trauma and operative time. Local hemostatic measures, frequent suctioning and careful handling of tissues is done. Local hemostatic measures, pressure, suturing, hemostatic agents. That can be the hemostatic oxidized cellulose, absorbable gelatin, calcium alginate, collagen plugs, fibrin sealant, topical thrombin, antifibrinolytic agents. Then antifibrinolytic agents can be this, the mouthwashes which are used. Then the post-operative management. Continue antifibrinolytic mouthwashes, soft diet, avoid hot or spicy food. Vigorous rinsing is not done. Adequate analgesics like paracetamol. We have to avoid aspirin or NSAIDs. Maintain oral hygiene. Review after every 24 to 48 hours. We have to give a follow-up to patient. In case of secondary bleeding, local pressure suture reinforcement, additional hemostatic measures is given. After this, the replacement therapy specific management. In hemophilia A, deficient factor is factor 8. Then the replacement therapy इसके लिए क्या होगा? factor 8 concentration या cryoprecipitate. Hemophilia B के cases में जो होता है factor 9 deficient होता है, तो factor 9 concentration या तो हम देंगे या तो fresh frozen plasma हम देता है. वॉन विलीब्रेंट डिजीज जो होता है इसमें वॉन विलीब्रेंट फैक्टर का डिफेक्ट होता है या फैक्टर 8 का डिफेक्ट होता है. ओके, देन इसमें हम क्या रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी देते हैं? डेस्मोप्रेसिन देता है इसमें हम. ओके, या वॉन विलीब्रेंट फैक्टर देता है. थ्रोम्बोसाइटोपेनिया में प्लेटलेट्स का डिफेक्ट होता है जिसमें प्लेटलेट्स ट्रांसफ्यूजन करता है. देन विटामिन के डेफिशिएंसी, इसमें विटामिन के डिपेंडेंट फैक्टर जो होता है उसका डिफेक्ट होता है. इसमें जो रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी हम देता है वो विटामिन के का ही देता है. देन द नोट, क्रायोप्रेसिपिटेट कंटेन्स फैक्टर 8, वॉन विलीब्रेंट फैक्टर, फिब्रिनोजन फैक्टर 9, फैक्टर 12 and fibronectin. Okay, then this is the algorithm of management. Patient with bleeding disorder requiring oral surgery. You have to write this flow chart as it is. The medical history examination, then investigation, then consult hematologist, then after that replacement therapy, then surgery with local hemostatic measure, after that the post-operative care and the follow-up. Then this is the key points which you can write. Plan with physician, replace deficiency. You basically, there's no necessary to write the key points, but you can write or you can remember for yourself. सो दैट फॉर इन की पॉइंट से तुम लोग आंसर को थोड़ा लंबा कर सको. ओके, ये सारी टेक्निक होती है हाउ टू राइट द आंसर इन एग्जाम. रिप्लेस डेफिशिएंट फैक्टर कंपोनेंट, यूज लोकल हेमोस्टैसिस, अवॉइड ड्रग्स दैट इंक्रीजेस द ब्लीडिंग एंड देन द फॉलो अप. Then these are the some important points which you can read by yourself, and this is the diagram, formation of stable clot. You have to draw this diagram. Diagrams are very important. Now here comes the last question of this series. Write a short note on stress reduction protocol in dentistry. How you can write it? Stress is stable. You will write this in the exam. First, you have to write about stress. The stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Okay, in dentistry, stress may be explained by the patient or dentist or the dental team. Then you have to write like that in the heading aim. Its aim is to reduce anxiety and stress and to provide comfortable and effective dental care. Then the importance. What is the importance? Reduces patient anxiety and apprehension, allows smooth and efficient dental treatment, improves patient cooperation and compliance. It reduces the chairside time and complications. It improves the dentist-patient relationship and it enhances the treatment outcome and patient satisfaction. Then there are causes of stress in dental practice. First is fear of pain and injection, unfamiliar environment and sounds, previous unpleasant dental experience, loss of control, mutilation or disfigurement fear, financial and personal problems, dentist-related factors that can be attitude, behavior, or hurry. It will affect the procedure. After that, the next is, okay, here is the stress reduction protocol. First is pre-appointment phase before the patient arrives, then appointment phase, then intra-appointment phase, and then the post-appointment phase. We will discuss it in detail. In pre-appointment phase, the pleasant telephone manners. Then give clear information about time, date, and the treatment, short waiting time, comfortable waiting area that should be neat, clean, and well ventilated. Soft background music, reading materials, TV, aquarium plants should be there. Avoid disturbing sights, sounds, and odors. Friendly behavior of receptionist and staff should be there. Then the next is the appointment phase before treatment. Greet the patient warmly and sincerely, call the patient by name, explain the procedure, duration, and cost, answer patient's question, use simple non-technical language. The scientific language should not be used here. We have to use the layman language. Then establish rapport and gain patient's trust, assess the patient's anxiety level, use relaxation techniques if required. So don't worry, we will take care of you. Then there is a third point that are intraoperative phase, that is during the treatment. What should be done? Use of behavior guidance technique. Tell, show, do principle. Profound local anesthesia, use of sharp instruments and efficient techniques. Avoid unnecessary pain and tissue trauma. Short appointments with rest breaks. Positive verbal reinforcement, distractions like music, TV, conversation, that should be avoided. Use of protective stabilization and deprogramming. Sedation or general anesthesia in highly anxious patients should be required. Then after that, there is post-operative phase. Give post-operative instructions clearly to the patient. Prescribe medication so that the pain is reduced. Follow up the patient. Encourage patient to express feelings and doubts. Maintain long-term patient-dentist relationship. Positive recall of the visit reduces the future anxiety. Then is the behavior guidance technique. Tell, show, do. We have to tell, then we have to show, and then we have to do that. Positive reinforcement, distraction, voice control, desensitization, modeling, protective stabilization, sedation, general anesthesia. Then this is the chart you can make of this tell, show, and do. Then the summary of the stress reduction in dentistry. Basically, it involves proper management of patient from the time of appointment till after the treatment. A well-planned protocol based on scientific behavior management ensures a pleasant dental experience and a successful treatment outcome. So this was all for the chapter. Thank you so much.